Hi there. This video is for Evan, but more people than Evan might find this useful, so I thought I would leave it on YouTube. You're making an original Trilogy lightsaber blade. You think you're done, but then you're not really done, because not only are you working with the blade, here's a it's on my shoulder. Okay, there's a cross section. There's set screws running through both, and then this is an early one of my blades, but it's still accurate. The hole here is where your tang goes, your steel rod, your collar, the fiberglass, and then the inner bushing, which go depending on how much you need. You have to taper it though. For these modern antennas, yeah, you have to taper the inside bushing, which is very annoying. Okay, so this is an early pipe stunt of mine. I messed up. I've messed up like 6 times. It's fine. It's fine. So this has a very thick tang on it back in when I thought they were something close to 3/8. This is the blade that came with it. Okay, let me run this on for you. There's a spot for the set screw. The originals had either like a lathed ring, like a neck where the set screw would go, or, you know, flat spots or something. I think they just lathed it. You can see it on the Vader stunt saber from Jedi. There's like a lathed neck or ring on for the set screws to touch, which means there's more space underneath. But also, okay, see this? Oops, can you hear? There's some clicking because it's not a perfectly tight fit. Now this, it's a little bit, there's a little bit of friction in there, but not, it doesn't sound like you have to force it on and then it doesn't, you don't want that. This is comparatively a little loose. It's pretty straight. I think it moves like a micrometer dial on like a mill or something would be able to tell, but it's you know, it's locked in, it's straight, but this is just not a glove fit. You can actually hear it. There's no like suction noise or whatever. I have a couple other ones here. Okay. Now, let's see. This is a work in progress. It's what we know so far of Luke's stunt saber in Jedi. Now the set screw here, you can see this is my own project and human error. I need a longer set screw for this. It is about 2 threads in, so most of the collar is like untightened, but I think there's glue or it's a press fit, I don't remember. But even with this one, let me unscrew it for you. I made the blade, I made all the parts, and then I had to fit it to this. Now, ironically, with this one, I put 2 set screws in. Mostly because it depends on what prop you're talking about, whether there's 1 or 2. Let's see, does this come off easy? Yes, it does. Yeah, there's no like, this doesn't wiggle as much as the other one. It's pretty tight, but you can easily see that. Now this one I did put the ring in. There's the bump from the grub screws there. And that gives you more air, more space for air to escape underneath. Technically, when you do this, the air escapes this way. So you need room. The longer your tang is, the more room you need for air to escape. But if you do this and it's like a really tight, you know, vacuum fit, there's air in there that's going to prevent the screws from engaging, I'm pretty sure. And this blade, reflective material on it. I don't know if you can see that. Right on, maybe? Oh yeah, that's interesting. Maybe, maybe not. Has to be in the same direction as, those are the springs from this, but the same direction as the camera. This is actually gray, dark gray. This, further out you go, wave it. There we go. You can kind of see it there. It's actually silver, dark silver colored. Anyways, There's the Empire one. You can kind of see, if you look up in there, you can kind of see the grub screw holes. There's one there. I can rotate it. I can almost see them there. Interesting. Anyways, this is pretty similar to the ones I've been making recently with the countersunk tang hole. But right, so this, it goes up about this far. The bushing, you have to taper to hammer it in there. But these, they're tapped in the same way as before. But yeah, but it's not a glove fit. It's not a suction fit. Let's see. I think there's 2 more holes I have to drill on this. I think. I don't know. Anyways, this sad little decapitated saber actually, where's it go? Here? There we go. It's my Vader motorized stunt in Empire Strikes Back when they took the motor out and put a core in before they used it again for Return of the Jedi. So once you take this off with a couple more set screws, that is accurate, that long blade. Here we go. Okay, so I have room for it here. You're looking at the core. Let me see if I can do it this way instead. There you go. You're looking at the core. This is, for anyone watching, this is just my attempt at how to hold the tang into the core. They might have buried the set screw or taken it all the way to the surface, who knows. Or tapped the tang. Threaded and tapped it down into the core. That I doubt. Anyways, blade-wise, this was a little different. My steel, right from the extrusion, I guess, cold-rolled steel, was not the same diameter all the way down. So this is a tighter fit. That head screw is going in, so there's room for the air to go. But you can see it's a little tighter until you get to there. Somewhere around here, it gets to be a bigger diameter, and it's a tighter squeeze. But again, you can hear that click. There's a tiny bit of give in it. And if I just push it, right there is where it starts to get tight. Now, if it were too tight, the screw, I'm really guessing, will not engage or go in. But this, thankfully, there's room. And that extra bit right here on the tang, I cut three flats. That's more space for air to escape. It has to go that way into the blade. But this, it's a light glove fit. I think I'm just getting by. But that's kind of the idea. Oh, look, light, dark. Okay. I love reflective material. Okay. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that is what's going on. Now, if anybody does strip their thing, trying to get it in, before you have to remachine it, worst case scenario, you're cutting it down, making a new collar for it. I don't recommend that. If this hole is a little stripped, either move up to M5, just drill and tap for an M5 screw, or swab some JB Weld in there, either the putty or the liquid, just because you're just going to replace the area where the threads are. And then if it's an M4, run it through with the 3.2, 3.3 something drill bit, and then run the M4 tap with some cutting oil. And the JB Weld should fill in the little ridges of thread that got eaten away. I don't think you have to do that, though. If you're like Evan and it will thread in unless you put something behind the hole, that's got to be air. You know what I mean? Like, if it can thread, it can thread. When there's something behind it, that is the variable. And so something is preventing the screw from being able to go down and engage. I think it's a vacuum or an air pocket. That's my best guess. But yeah, if worst case scenario, you can either JB Weld that area again and make the taps again, make the thread, or just move up to an M5. either way. Make sure your pitch is right, because the grub screws I have are M4 by 7. There's M4 by 5 or 1, I think, or something, maybe 1. And because the thread pitch is different, it's bigger. I got this one M4 tap from China. Whenever I ran it through, it made the hole too big. Or maybe that was just a misidentified tap, because it was a cheap one from China. But I always hold the thread up to the tap itself. They can lock in if they're the right pitch and the right kind. And you can kind of tell side by side with a magnifying glass if you need it. You can kind of tell if the tap is going to blow out the hole bigger than the grub screw. If they're usually about the same size, or the tap is a little bit smaller, and then you're good to go. But don't go puttying and drilling and tapping if you don't need to. At least get your tang thin enough that you can easily put it on, spin it, do what you want. Because that air it has to go that way. Put a groove in it, or a flat spot, whatever you need to do, and that should do it for fitting a lightsaber blade to a tang. An old school lightsaber blade. That's my best guess. Let's put these back together. What is this one? This one goes here. There you go. And with the soft spot, flat spot in there. Let's see. Which one's the lowest? That one's the lowest. Okay. I did them by hand. This is before I did the groove on the other ones. They're technically different heights away from the core. My own learning how to do this project. Now, God, I would have hated this as a prop hand. Okay. I like to do the back to brace it against the other side of the saber fully. Go. And then just the front one, just lightly as a placeholder, light pressure. There's the Vader stunt. This isn't one of Ethan's kits, by the way. This came before that. A friend of mine helped me make it. Okay, there we go. And they took out the bunny earrings so they could get access to the set screws. Clever, huh? I think it's clever. I like to do that one just enough so it won't come off, and I could still spin it, and then block this one in. Brace it using the front one as the brace. There you go. Where is it? There we go. Machine stuff. And then, last but not least, one of my messed up pipe stunts here with a really tall collar. Yeah, this is an M5. I probably had that messed up M4 tap at this point. And before I ordered a new one, I just used M5 for everything, because that was easier. There we have it. Okay. Does that help? I hope that helps. Boy, this is 15 minutes long. I hope that helps.